Hello everyone, it's Jean from Inky Studio. Welcome and welcome back. I am still working in the Christmas journal that I started a week or so ago. And today I'm going to be putting in sort of a photo mat, a place to put photos in your journal that has sort of a flip out type of deal with it. I don't really know what to call these things, but I think that when I make a Christmas journal, I really feel that photographs are a large part of the Christmas memory that you're going to be putting in a journal. So I like to come up with ways to add a photo or two. So I started here with my page. Now I printed this on heavy photo paper, and it's like 47-pound weight, I believe. So you need at least that, if not stronger. Any scrapbook paper that's heavy and high quality would work fine, or even cardstock. But you do want it to be a little bit more than just plain paper because you're going to be holding something kind of heavy on it. So I've got that ready. And now when I print out all the papers I'm going to be using, what I like to do when I am making ephemera or pockets or making stuff to put in the journal, I like to reduce the full sheet down to almost about half, maybe a little less than half. And if it's a JPEG file, then I can choose in my printer two 5x7s. Or if it's a PDF file that you have as a digital, then you can reduce it down to 50% or whatever. But I do like to reduce the images down because it makes the pattern smaller. And also, when you reduce them all the same, then they're all the same size, and I don't know, I find it easier to cut them up and measure. So that's what I've done here. So if you, I'll put down where I got the papers, but if you go there, they will be a bigger pattern. So that's just to show you what I've done. And the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to lay down about the size you want for where the main photo is going to go. I've chosen here, I believe this is, I should measure it out, this is 7 by 4.5 here. That fits on the page. You know, I want a little border around the page. So whatever your page is, you want a little border all the way around it there. Now, you could just leave it like this and glue your photograph on top of it. But I like to make sort of a frame, and I believe it protects the photo a little bit better in your journal, especially if you're going to be writing on the page before it. And I think it has a better presentation if you just cut out a frame from it and then layer it with some acetate. And now I can't see my acetate because it's clear, and I put it here on my desk. Oh, here it is. And layer it with some acetate. Or any kind of a liner like this, a clear liner. These are from, if you have like in the office supply, there's transparencies for overheads. Now, they may not sell those anymore. I got this a while ago. But anything that you maybe purchase that has an acetate liner inside of it. It doesn't have to be like this. It can be even like a bag, a nice quality clear bag that things come in when you buy ephemera pieces or you buy stuff. A nice clear bag would also work. So that's what I'm using now. I'm using this acetate. Then I happen to have, of course, a die cut that's going to cut the frame out for me. But if you don't, of course, you'll want to just make a template, you know, the size that you like, and trace it on the opposite side, and then cut it out. And the square is pretty easy to cut out, and don't worry about it not being perfect, because if you cut it out by hand and then go back in and distress it with your distress ink a little bit around the edges, that kind of takes away from visually, it helps you not really notice that it was hand cut. And it's kind of a way to disguise any kind of little imperfections you might have in it. So don't be afraid to cut it out. You also, another idea that you could do is if you have punches, like circle punches, but you know, maybe the biggest you got is like 2 inches. Well, that's fine. You can put in 2 punches here, maybe put one here and one here, and those can be like places to put 2 photos in. So those are just some ideas. and I am just going to get this cut out, and I'll be right back. All right, and of course you want to save this to make a nice little journaling card. So now we have our frame that's ready to go. I did place the square up a little bit higher so that I could put like a little label down here, but you could put it anywhere you want to, of course. And then I cut a piece of my acetate and or transparency, just larger than the opening, of course, but of course you don't want to go outside of your frame, but you do want to catch, at least a half inch or something around the frame there. So I'm going to glue this on. Now, what can happen sometimes if you glue too close to the opening, if you glue too close to this opening here, it can seep out when you put on the transparency, because it'll sort of squish it out a little bit. So I always like to put it just about 1/4 of an inch out away from that opening, just about like that. And I'm just using my glitter glue for that, or a white glue would be fine. There we go. And we'll just lay that down there like so. Don't want to move it around too much once you lay it down. Now the place where you're going to be sliding in your photo or ephemera or whatever, that area there can sometimes get caught when you go to slide things in and out. And this is not any huge big deal, but what I like to do is I like just to put a little washi tape down there, and I'm going to glue it down right along that edge of the acetate there, so that things will slide in nicer and not catch on that little ridge that can sometimes happen there. So I'm just going to do that really quick here. There. Now I know this shiny surface is messing with my lighting on my camera. So we have this done. I'm just going to set that aside for a moment, and I'm going to use this empty frame here as my prototype because that is so shiny. I don't want to use that one. So now we're going to make the little flaps that come down over it. And you can make a gatefold one if you wanted to and have them fold out this way if you'd like. But I'm going to have the two pieces come together like so. And they're going to meet, they're not going to overlap, they're going to meet almost, but not quite. So to do that, you'll need to measure to make sure you have the right measurements. So we'll measure this, and it is 7 inches tall, which means right here at 3.5 is the halfway mark. All right, so because I want them to come close but not overlap, a little piece of tape there, get that off of there. I am going to put this one just on the other side of that little tick mark. Okay. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to add a 1/2 inch to the measurement there on the bottom. So let me just add a 1/2 inch to that right here. And I'm going to cut along that area, and then I will do the same. Well, I don't need to do the same for the other one. All I need to do now is to put these two together and make my cut. And then I will do my 1/2 inch score line. And right about there. There we go. I'm going to score it on the opposite side. So that I can just do this. I'm going to do just one, and I'm going to test this one out like so. And then I'm going to bring this one up and have it meet just almost, but not quite. And let me just make sure that, yep, This is right about where I want it, and it was probably a 1/2 inch, I'm sure. Okay. Oops. There we go. And we will fold, whoops, that one fell over. We'll fold that in half, and now we have, they should now meet right there. Together, but not overlapping. Wow, that's really close, isn't it? Okay, that's pretty close. They are overlapping a tiny bit. I'm going to take a sliver off of here. And then I'm going to come in here and miter the corners of the flaps. And then we will ink up the flap. All right, these have all been inked. They're ready to go. Now for the inside of these flaps, I have chosen paper to put on the inside to make pockets here. There we have. Now I have a decision to make here. I can use these just as pockets, put a little thumb notch in here and glue on the 3 sides, and these could be the pockets. Or I can go ahead and make another photo area. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, actually I'll make one a photo area and one a pocket. I'll compromise. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a square out of here. And so I put my acetate on, and I'm going to now glue these to the inside of the flaps. I think my photo is going to be put in from the top side there. So I'm just going to glue here around the 3 edges here. And place that pocket in there, like so. There we go. And so this one here, I just put a thumb notch in it, and I'm going to make a pocket to come in at the side, a piece of ephemera or whatever, something that you can journal on. And again, if you don't want to make the cutout frames, then you know, these would just be places that you could put photos on. Just putting it on the layer of paper itself. So now I have the 2 pockets in there, and we're just going to glue, oh, before we do that, we have to do the ties. For the ties, I've chosen this ribbon, but you could certainly use string or twine or whatever you would like to put in there, but I'm going to be using this ribbon to tie the flaps together. And I have also cut out this little piece of cardstock with a 1 1/4 inch punch is what I've cut it out as. And I am going to just fold this in half, and then I am going to cut along in that fold like so. So I have a half a circle. Give it a little bit of and then I will be gluing this in like so. So I will, I don't know, I'm going to give it a guess here as to how much ribbon I need. That's probably more than I need there. It doesn't look like there we go. And we're going to start with putting a little dab down here of glue, putting down our ribbon. Ribbon's probably the best choice because the string might be bumpy. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. You'd have to experiment with that. And then we will go ahead and glue down the half circle like this. Alrighty, and then I'll want to make sure that I do the same on the other side so that when they meet, they'll be together. So we'll just put them up against each other like so. And then get in my ribbon first. There we go. And now I'll be putting down my half circle and matching it up there with the one up here. Just like that. Okay, that should be good. Okay, that is done. And now we're ready to glue this onto our frame. So you do want to make sure you have at least a 1/2 inch here at the top so that your flap won't come down below the window part there. And so we have this here inside, and then we're going to glue on the bottom. And so there we have it. We have our little flip up photo area, and inside I went ahead and I put in a little photo mount on the inside, or the person, you know, if they want to journal, they can also do that here on the inside. I glued in a little label down here at the bottom, and up here I have a little piece of ephemera, and again the person can use that to put a photo on, or just use it somewhere else as a ephemera card. And then down here I have a little pull out with a little journaling card down here in the bottom. So there it is. That is my little photo idea. I think on the top here, I might be putting this on. I think it'd be kind of fun, kind of thinking maybe this is where you would put the Christmas Day photo. I don't know. Oh, and I wanted to bring out too that this opening is 3.5 by 5, because a 4 by 6 photo is what most of us work with, and you know, a portrait size photo would fit in there just fine, and the opening would be good. So anyways, that's why I put that measurement there, but any measurement would probably work fine. All right, so thank you so much for joining me, and we will talk to you again real soon as I finish up this Christmas journal. Have a great and crafty day. Bye.